Country Fire Authority's annual report has been handed down in Victoria. This follows weeks of criticism over the state's funding of the organisation. Our political reporter Georgie Dickerson has had her work cut out for her this morning. She's in Melbourne. Take us through the key findings of this report, Georgie.
Well, it shows the funding increase from government grants for the CFA rose by $21.8 million this financial year. Now, this is the first time that these funding grants from the government have actually increased since 2021. And we'll break down a bit more of the financial statement for the CFA for you now. So this year, the total income for this financial year was $477.4 million. This is made up of $361 million of grants. Now, last year, as a comparison, was $451 million, and we'll take this back to 2020 when the total income was $456 million. That was made up of $351 million of grants. Now, in particular, from the money spent, there was $15 million spent on vehicle maintenance as well. Now, there has been a contentious issue around this report. It was meant to be released weeks ago. The government saying the Auditor-General was taking its time to actually release this report. But obviously, finally today, it has been handed down, and it shows the government was correct that they said that they had an increase in funding for the CFA. But there still has been criticism from the government in recent weeks. Of course, we've had these deadly bushfires that have swept through central Victoria. Many volunteers saying that a lot of the equipment wasn't up to scratch, that it shouldn't have been used. There was videos of firefighters in the trucks battling those blazes with no aircon, trucks coming to a halt because they weren't up to scratch. Now, we are going to be hearing from the Premier in around 10 minutes' time, so we'll bring you that when she does finally start speaking on this. But, of course, now in terms of some of the other parts of the report, there was around 42,000 incidents that were attended by firefighters, and of note, 438,000 hours were dedicated by volunteers, while 79% of emergency response times were met. And Laura, just a brief note on those bushfires. We aren't out of the woods here in Victoria just yet. 6 active fires are still burning, and we really are only at the start of the bushfire season.
Georgie, looking forward to hearing from Jacinta Allen there. The long and the short of it is we can look over reports and how much funding and whether that's seen as a cut or not. But does it mean, I just want to bring Georgie back for a moment, does it mean that essentially, what are firefighters saying? Do they have enough money or not? And is the opposition going to be satisfied with this, do you think?
Well, the opposition probably not satisfied, Laura, but when you
not
speak
in an election
to some
year,
of the
Georgie.
firefighters, definitely not, Laura. We're only 11 months from an election now. But the Chief Fire Officer for the Firefighters Union, he has been speaking out publicly for quite some time now, saying that the state of this firefighting equipment isn't up to scratch. He has shown there's been videos of the state of the firefighting equipment. They even released their own documentary speaking to firefighters on the front line about their own experiences, even saying that the ladders that they would use on the firefighting equipment would break. They said they're essentially putting their lives in danger to be able to save someone else because of the state of this equipment. They want to see more funding put towards maintenance of these fire trucks, some of the fire trucks 20 to 30 years old. And we did ask the Premier on that last week. She says that they would never allow fire trucks to go into bushfires that weren't up to the standards, but for these firefighters on the front line, they just don't think it's up to scratch.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to do, to pick a fight with firefighters, and particularly a firefighting union as the Labor government. Anyway, we'll wait to see what Jacinta Allen has to say. Georgie, appreciate it, that long-awaited report finally dropping.